to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today we're going to talk about some college basketball, man. Had to let it go one time extra for some college basketball. College football season is officially over again. Congratulations to Indiana for winning the college football national championship. But we got 7 games to go over in college basketball today. 2 today, 2 big matchups today, and 5 matchups tomorrow. And then I'll be back Wednesday to discuss Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, my Michigan State boys got a big matchup on Friday. But before we do all that, let's get into some poll talk. We got some new polls to go over in the college basketball world as I pull them up on my phone. Starting with the number 1 overall seed who plays tonight, the Arizona Wildcats. 20-0, one of 3 undefeated teams left in the country. Shout out to them. Then we have UConn at number 2, narrowly escaping Villanova in overtime. I think that game went overtime. I watched it. I can't remember if it went overtime, but I think it did. They're currently 19-1 on the year. I can't even remember that one loss. It's so long ago. I want to say it was to Arizona. Yep. One loss being to Arizona, so definitely deserves the 2 seed there. Number 3. We have Michigan. Shout out to you for coming through on the stream. Appreciate you for stopping by. Number 3, we have the Michigan Wolverines. Their only loss is to Wisconsin at home. Number 4, we have the Duke Blue Devils. The Blue Devils are 18-1. Their only loss is to Texas Tech, which is not a bad loss to have. Number 5 is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They are currently the second of 3 undefeated teams. So shout out to them. Best start in school history. Well-deserved spot. Appreciate you as well for stopping by. Number 6. We're just going to rattle them off now. Number 6. No, we're going to rattle them off after the top 10. Number 6, Gonzaga. Their only 1 loss, which was blowout fashion, is to Michigan. Number 7, the Michigan State Spartans, who won the Chipotle Classic Saturday and by 40. Number 8, Iowa State, they just had a bad week of basketball. Not this week that just passed, but the week before that, lost 2 straight games. Number 9, Illinois, who just got a big road win against Purdue. They're currently 17-3. So shout out to him. Appreciate you, man. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. Definitely appreciate you. And number 10, the University of Houston. Now, you might be saying, how is Houston in front of Texas Tech? They traded games. They're both 1-1 against each other. Houston 17-2, while Texas Tech is 16-4. So Houston being 10 in front of Texas Tech is right to me. 11 is Texas Tech. 12 is Purdue. 13 is BYU, who plays again tonight. 14 is Kansas. 15 is Arkansas. 16 is North Carolina. 17 is Virginia. North Carolina just beat Virginia this Saturday. Shout out Caleb Wilson. 18 is Vanderbilt. 19 is Florida. 20 is Louisville. 21, the Billikens. They just keep on moving up. Shout out Coach Schwartz. 22, Clemson. 23, Bama, who just took a loss to Tennessee last Saturday night. 24, the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio, just 20-0, the last undefeated team, the last of the 3 undefeated teams in the country. And 25 is St. John, moving into the top 25. So that's the top 25 in college basketball. MSU definitely put belt to them boys. Shout out my boys. But that is poll talk. I honestly right now really don't have any quorums about the top 25. Texas A&M has been on a heater lately. Maybe if you want to throw them in there. But I really don't have no quorums. So Texas A&M possibly being on the last man looking out, I'm not mad at. But other than that, solid top 25 list. But we'll move on to 2 games that we got tonight. We got the CBB preview. We got Louisville taking on Duke on the road at Duke. This game is today in about 15-20 minutes. It's 7 o'clock on ESPN. Louisville is coming to this as 8.5-point road dogs. Duke is, like I said, a top 5 team. Now, Louisville, they're a team that's kind of iffy. Like they've been really good, but I want to say that against ranked opponents, they've been not so good. And as you see, they're going against a top 5 team. Louisville, they welcome back Michael Brown against Virginia Tech on Saturday, and he had 20 points. We'll talk about him in a second. But they're led by, in my opinion, Ryan Conwell, who leads the team in 19.5 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 1.3 steals. Isaac McNeely, the shooter, 11.8 points per game and 3.2. And like I said, they welcome back Michael Brown Jr. on Saturday, who he's averaging 16.9 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. Their X factors to me are going to be their bigs, Ali Khalifa and Sanada Fru. I don't know why I be calling him Sandro. Sanada Fru. Because Cam Boozer, not Dame, Patrick Nwamba, and even guys like Malik Brown, those are all active bigs, and they got to keep the one off the board. You got to try to contain Cam Boozer, but you definitely going to have to like protect the paint and things like that. So the bigs in this one's going to be X factors to me. While Duke is led by Cam Boozer, the phenomenal freshman who had, I believe he had 32 Saturday against Wake Forest. Just that whole Saturday was filled with phenomenal performances. The main, you would have thought Keaton Wallace, not say Keaton Wallace, Jesus Christ, that's a basketball player for the Hawks. Keaton Wagler, would have had the most points Saturday. No, I can't remember his name, but Cal Baptist Johnson had 47 in overtime against Utah Valley. So I can't remember his first name, but Cal Baptist, Cal Baptist had 47 against Utah Valley. So shout out to him. But Cam Boozer averages 23.7 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1.9 steals. Isaiah Evans averages 14.4 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 1 block. Caleb Foster, 8.9 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game. Now, the X factor to me is going to be Caden Boozer and his ability to not only run the offense off the bench, but scoring off the bench, as he's averaging 6.5 points per game. But my winner is Duke. And like I said, man, Louisville does not do as good when they're playing ranked opponents than when they were playing unranked opponents. So I think that Duke will win this game. Now, do I think they'll cover the 8.5 points? That's tough. That's a lot of points, and I think Louisville does have some firepower to match up with Duke. But I think Duke just has the athletes, they have the talent to win the game. And then Louisville now having Michael Brown back for the second game kind of does throw a wrench in that because Michael Brown hasn't played in 5 weeks prior to that Virginia Tech game. So maybe Michael Brown was the missing piece against ranked opponents. So I might venture that 8.5 with Louisville, but I'm not going to give that out as a suggestion. But I definitely think Duke wins this at home and remains the top 5 team. Next, we're going to go with Arizona, top-ranked Arizona at 13th ranked BYU in Provo. AJ DeBanster, Koa Pete, 2 phenomenal freshmen going at it tonight at 9 o'clock on ESPN. So right after Duke and Louisville. Arizona comes into this as a 0.5 point road favorite. So basically a pick 'em. This game is basically a pick 'em. Now, Arizona is led by the phenomenal freshman Koa Pete, who's averaging 14.7 points per game, 5.9 rebounds. Then they're also led by Jaden Bradley, averaging 13.5 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 1.9 steals. And Braden Burries, the freshman, averaging 14.6 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. Their X factor to me is Marionis Crevis protecting that paint. He's averaging 1.8 blocks per game. He's going to go against an active big in Kiba Keita. He's going to be essential in protecting that paint. AJ DeBanster is going to be attacking. Rob Wright's going to be attacking, looking to penetrate, possibly kick out, possibly to score. He's going to have a long day protecting that paint. Now, BYU, they're led by AJ DeBanster, 23.6 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.3 steals. Again, man, 43 points Saturday against Utah at the Holy War in Provo. Rob Wright averaging 18 points per game, 3.8 rebounds a game, 5.2 assists, and 1.3 steals. And Kiba Keita averaging 6.9 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, 1.1 steals, and 1.9 blocks per game. Now, the X factor for me is Richie Saunders, starting guard. His three-point shooting is going to be key, averaging 39.1% shooting from the three-point range. He's going to be key as well as him just scoring the ball. But I think his shooting is going to be very big in this game. But ultimately, I have Arizona. Arizona's just a real tough-nosed, hard-nosed defensive team. They could put up points. And Koa Pete and Krevis down low, I think is going to be huge for Arizona. Then they bring in Toby Walker off the bench. I just think they'll just be a little too much for this BYU team and what they offer down low with Kiba Keita. Kiba Keita is very active. Offensively, does lack a little bit, but defensively very great. But I just think Arizona wins this matchup in Provo. Give me Arizona to beat BYU. We move on to Tuesday. We got a big matchup Tuesday, top 5 matchup. 5th-ranked Nebraska at 3rd-ranked Michigan. 7 o'clock on Peacock Tuesday. For Nebraska, they're led by Rink Mask, averaging 14.6 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. Sam Hoiberg, 9 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, and 4.2 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game. And Price Sanford, the transfer from Iowa, averaging 17.3 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, and 1.2 steals per game. Now, their X factor to me is Jamarcus Lawrence because I feel like Michigan is super big down low. And so they're going to need some 3-point shots to counteract what Michigan has in the front court. And Jamarcus Lawrence is shooting 37.4% from 3. I think he's going to have to get hot today if Nebraska has – not today, tomorrow if Nebraska has a chance to beat Michigan. So I'm going to definitely roll with Jamarcus Lawrence as my X factor. Michigan, they're led by my guy. I talked about him a lot last year. Was sick. He signed to Michigan this year. Yaxel Lundenberg, the transfer from UAB, man. He's averaging 14.4 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and 1.4 blocks per game. Ade Mara, the transfer from UCLA, 10.9 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game, and 2.7 blocks. And Elliot Cadeau, the transfer from North Carolina, averaging 10.3 points per game, 5.2 assists per game. Now, their X factor to me is Roddy Gale Jr., trying to counteract some scoring off the bench for him. I think he'll be big. He's averaging 9 points per game off the bench. I think he's big for for Michigan against Nebraska. And as much as I would love to pick Nebraska in the upset, I don't be biased on my show. I'm going with Michigan at home. The reason why I'm going with Michigan at home is because I just think that front court is just too much for Nebraska's front court. They throw guys at you like Maurice Johnson. Yaxel Lundenberg could play in the front court. Ade Mar could play in the front court. Will Shatter could play in the front court. I think that's his name. Shatter could play in the front court. They just got a lot of guys and bodies that could throw at you in the front court or weigh you down. In Nebraska, they're an old school team. They lead on fundamentals. They're a team that's just fundamentally sound. But I think that front court for Michigan is too much. So give me Michigan to beat Nebraska. Next, we have Mizzou at Alabama. Alabama 23rd in the country. Mizzou just escaped Oklahoma at home with a Mark Mitchell buzzer beater 3 in OT. I think that was an OT. But Mark Mitchell definitely hit that buzzer beater 3. I ain't gonna lie. When they was coming up the court and he had the ball, I was like, this is what you want to shoot that. Then he made it. I was like, oh, never mind. Alabama again coming off the loss to Tennessee at home in regulation. Now, Mizzou is led by Mark Mitchell, the transfer from Duke, averaging 17.7 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 3.2 assists. Jaden Stone, I want to say this is the guy from Detroit, Mercy, averaging 15.4 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. And Jacob Cruz, averaging 11.3 points per game and 4.3 rebounds per game. Now, their X factor to me is Sean Phillips Jr. coming from Arizona State, scoring 7.7 points per game. I think he's going to be huge because you need points against Bama, man. Bama scores a ton of points. Now, what they don't do is play a ton of defense. Like, Bama's always in shootout type style games, and that's why I think Sean Phillips is going to be huge in this matchup. Now, for Alabama, they're led by LeBaron Fillon, the phenomenal sophomore who was a phenomenal freshman last year. They're also led by, LeBaron Fillon averaged 22.2 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, and 1.3 steals. Aiden Holloway, Coach Nate Oates said should be available barring a setback tomorrow for Bama. So he should be playing. Now, Amari Allen looks to be out. There's no way from what Coach Oates was saying, that he will be playing. But Aiden Holloway should be a go. And he's averaging 17.7 points per game and 3.6 assists. And Latrell Rice averaging 11.1 points per game and 1 steal per game. Now, their X factor is Houston Millett and his 3-point shooting. I think that's going to be big because Alabama likes to score a lot of points. And when he's on fire, they're tough to stop, averaging 34.4 points per game. So I think he's going to be huge. And Jaden Stone did, in fact, go to Detroit Mercy. I was right. But my winner, I'm going to roll with Alabama, man. Alabama, I don't see them losing back-to-back home games. I don't see them losing to – even though Mizzou's been – they got some good wins. Mizzou beat Florida. Mizzou got an Oklahoma win. They have some good wins. I just don't – now, and I'm not going to say I don't see Mizzou winning because I definitely could see Mizzou winning this game. But like I said, man, they love these shootout-style games. And I think Alabama outlasts Mizzou. Now, again, Mizzou got a lot of good wins at home. Like they got Auburn at home. They got Florida. I believe they were at home. Let me see. They were I hit the wrong month. Excuse me. At home. They are on the road. I don't know if Mizzou gets it done on the road. And no, it wasn't OT Mizzou Oklahoma. But I'm taking Bama in this one. Bama's at home. Mizzou's not. Taking Bama. And Bama's 10.5 point favorites. I would definitely take Mizzou plus the 10.5 there. That is a crazy spread. R2L is about to start, so I kind of got to wrap it up because I will be on the R2L show. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is 7.5 point favorites. This game is 9 o'clock on ESPN tomorrow. Kentucky is coming off of a loss. No, they won. They ended up beating Ole Miss by 9. I did watch that. They ended up beating Ole Miss. They're coming off a win against Ole Miss. Vandy finally broke a 3-game losing streak. They got a win. So shout out to Vanderbilt for that. As I tried to look up something and a notification just messed me all up. But for the Kentucky Wildcats, who will be on the road, Kentucky's led by Otega Owe, averaging 16.1 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 1.9 steals. Denzel Aberdeen, the transfer from Florida, averaging 12.3 points per game, 3.2 assists, and Malachi Marino averaging 8.7 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game. Their X factor to me, who was kind of an X factor for Kentucky in the first half, is Jasper Johnson, and his scoring off the bench. The young freshman, he's averaging 6.7 points per game. Now, Vanderbilt's led by two Tanners. Some might even say three, but two Tylers, excuse me. Tyler Tanner averaging 17.4 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, and 5.3 assists, and 2.4 steals. Duke Miles averaging 16.6 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 2.8 assists. 2.8. I think I was supposed to say steals. I put an A by accident. And Tyler Nickel averaging 14.7 points per game and 3.3 rebounds per game. Their X factor to me is Dwight McLaughlin. He's going to have his hands full. He's going against Marino, Brandon Garrison, and those two big men. So he's going to have his hands full holding down that paint. But ultimately, Vandy getting some home cooking, coming back home, I think gets it done. I think those guards for Kentucky is going to have their work cut out trying to guard the guards at Vanderbilt. They're speedy. Duke Miles is actually strong. So he's going to be a tough matchup for the Kentucky guards with Owe and Aberdeen. Not saying they can't defend because they can, but I just think there's going to be a tough matchup. And Vanderbilt is also a team that likes to put up a bunch of points but can play some defense. So give me Vanderbilt to outlast the Wildcats at home. Next, we got some mid-major basketball for y'all, man. We got Grand Canyon at Nevada. Grand Canyon just recently joined the Mountain West Conference this year. Nevada's also a good start in the Mountain West. Grand Canyon just beat San Diego State I want to say Saturday night by 1 on the road, which is a great win because San Diego State, I believe at the time, was undefeated in Mountain West Conference play. So big win there. Nevada did take a loss to New Mexico, but in the pit where it is tough to win by 7, they lost by 7 to New Mexico. Grand Canyon, they're led by Jaden Henley, averaging 17.2 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.6 steals. Makai Williams, averaging 13.1 points per game, and Nana Owusu Anane, averaging 9.4 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, and 1.3 steals. Their X factor is Dusty Stromer, in my opinion, scoring off the bench, averaging 8.3 points per game. Now, Nevada's led by Corey Camper, averaging 16.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 1 steal. Tayshawn Coleman, 13.7 points per game, 4 assists, and 1 steal. And Elijah Price, averaging 12.5 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, and 1.4 steals per game, and 2.1 blocks per game. And their X factor to me is Chuck Bailey and his three-point shooting ability, averaging 38.8% from the 3. My winner, I think this is tough, but I think I'm rolling with Nevada at home, man. Nevada is such a good home team. Grand Canyon's a good team. They could defend. They could put up points. But I think Nevada can also put up points in this Mountain West Conference, and they're going to be at the home court. So I think Nevada very much edges this one out against Grand Canyon. And the last game I got for y'all, because I got to hurry up, R2L is literally about to start. New Mexico at UNLV, with shout out Josh Pastner. He has UNLV playing some competitive basketball. They did lose to San Diego State by double digits, but the game was competitive throughout. And I just told y'all who New Mexico just beat. New Mexico is 5.5-point road favorites in this matchup against UNLV. This game is 11 o'clock tomorrow on CBSN. For the New Mexico Lobos, they're led by Jake Hall, averaging 15 points per game and 3.4 rebounds. Tomislav Buhan, averaging 11.8 points per game, 10.1 rebounds, and 1.2 steals. And Dayton Albury, averaging 11.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 3.4 assists, and 1.3 steals. Their X factor to me is Uriah Tenet, scoring off the bench, averaging 10.8 points per game. And UNLV is led by Dre Gibbs Longhorn, who's transferred from Illinois. He's averaging 17.6 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. Kamani Hamilton, averaging 12.4 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.2 steals. And Tyron Jones, averaging 11.2 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 1.2 steals per game. Now, the X factor to me is Howie Fleming Jr. He had a pretty solid game against San Diego State Saturday. He's averaging 9.6 points per game, and I think they're going to need some scoring against a New Mexico team that can score as well. But I ultimately went with New Mexico because, they're on the road, but UNLV is good at home. UNLV is a solid team, but you just play San Diego State and they come back and play a tough New Mexico team. I think that's going to be a tough home win regardless. I think UNLV puts up a fight, but I think New Mexico outlasts UNLV. So give me New Mexico to win that ball game. And that is the 7 games I had to go over for y'all real quick. I'll do some house cleaning on the next episode. Like I said, I'm about to be on the R2L show who just started. So I got to roll. Make sure y'all tune into the R2L show. We're discussing the NFL, that the playoffs that just happened. So make sure y'all tune in. And I will see y'all Wednesday to discuss Wednesday and Thursday games, but I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.